Hello, everyone. Happy Mabon. Happy fall equinox. The balance of light and dark, day and night. It's me, Marilyn. I am at the Old Tree Metaphysical Shop, just hanging out in my office today. We are going to do a live 3-card spread. I did already draw the cards, just to let you know. And also, I'm going to be using my notes that I wrote down because if you can't tell, I'm a little bit scattered today. So I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes here and see if anybody logs on. Gonna pet my kitty. Mr. Spiders has decided to come in and join us. Want to say hi? Huh? Want to say hi? No? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we start even talking about the tarot cards, I want to talk about the moon and sun and things like that and what signs we're in and everything, because those energies dance around the tarot cards, and they provide a little bit deeper reading into the tarot when you are doing the reading. So it is kind of beneficial to talk about them. So right now, Mr. Spiders, right now our moon sits in the phase of waning crescent. And the waning crescent energies are those of releasing and cutting cords in preparation for the new moon on Libra, or in Libra, on the 28th. Waning crescent moon is also associated to our root chakra, or our Muladhara. The root chakra is our survival center. It is the root of our being that connects the physical body with our environment and with Earth. The root chakra is associated with our instincts. Come on, sit down. Our instincts, trust, our need for foundation, stability, and security. You're being a brat. It also connects us to our karmas, past and present. And when our physical needs of stability and safety are met, we feel very connected and grounded. But when they are not met, we have the feelings of anxiety, disconnection, tiredness, lethargy, restlessness. All of those can play a factor in our lives. Root chakra is connected to the element of earth. And earth is the foundation, the stability, yes, but earth is also healing. So the element of earth is a very healing, has a very healing aspect to it. And the moon, as of right now, is positioned in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is water element sign. Water is also healing. Not only is it healing, it's rejuvenating, it's feminine, it's loving, cleansing, intuitive, subconscious, purifying. Water is the womb, just to name a few. And Cancer is the crab. The crab, its shell is its home. It travels everywhere with its home. It never leaves its home. And when you think about a crab, think about the tough exterior and the very soft inside. So whenever you're speaking to a Cancer, kind of take note on that, because they can seem very strong on the outside, but on the inside, they hurt. They hurt just like us, any of us. So when the moon is in Cancer, people can become very sensitive and go very deep into their inner world. That's that subconscious coming in, right? And that inner world then becomes more important than our outer world. That's kind of scary, because then you kind of get sucked in there into that what can be sadness, depression. You get sucked in and you're there, and that's it, you know. So on days like today, with the waning moon going introspective and releasing. And then once again, we have that root chakra, which is our connection, our foundation, our home, and our karmic energies. Then you mix those with the elements of earth and water, which are both feminine aspects. And just from that moon aspect alone, we are looking at deep emotional and physical work that needs to be done. Possibly a breakthrough of foundational changing events that we may have to deal with trust or healing. And those events are going to be transformational. They are going to be breakthroughs for you if you flow with that water and allow them to be that. So later on this evening, our moon changes into Leo, and Leo is bringing with it the masculine energy of the element of fire. So it comes in and burns away the old, making way for the new, transforming the space. While our sun right now sits in Libra, and Libra is the keeper of balance and justice, right? Always looking for that calm, balancing space, yeah? So just know that those energies are added into it, and we'll also be facing the need for balance. So we're going through this emotional breakthrough, right? And of course, while I'm recording, somebody comes to the door, dogs go crazy, cats are crazy. So while we're going through this emotional healing and these foundational breakthroughs and transformations and all of that, we're going to be kind of fighting those scales to bring that balance back. You know what I mean? So don't be surprised if you feel a little bit off kilter today. And just because the god and goddess are dancing for the equinox doesn't mean that you're going to feel completely balanced. So allow the flow of change and release to occur. Trust that you still have a strong foundation underneath your feet. Allow yourself to acknowledge and heal the hurts that are still within you. And if you feel like you're drowning, allow the element of air from Libra to fill those lungs with calm and peace and love. Life. So now, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and focus on our cards. And I used a different deck today for this drawing, and for some reason it just spoke to me from the shelf. I haven't played with this deck in a long time, and it was like, I want to be played with, so I said okay. And it is the Star Tarot, and it's a really, really beautiful tarot deck. I really do enjoy it. But like I said, I have so many that sometimes I use one for like months and then I don't use it for a long time. So anyway, with all that moon stuff being talked about, I want you to remember it, because those energies are going to also be feeding into the readings of the cards. So the first one that I drew is your Five of Cups. And, you know, the Five of Cups is a water element. It's west direction, and the direction of west is your fall. So this card the Five of Cups can signal a time of deep loss and disappointment. But with that feeling of deep loss and disappointment, it can also bring about the opportunity to heal and transform. So during times of healing, we sometimes need to mourn what we're letting go, right? Even if what we're letting go is part of us, we still have to mourn it as we're letting it go, kind of, just a closure process sometimes. I know I have to do that. So during this time of mourning, however, don't let sadness become the only thing that you're focusing on. Like I said before, don't allow sorrow to drag you in so deep that you can't see the light anymore. And during this time of release, remember that the void that is left from all of that releasing will be instantly filled with healing, loving light. So on this card also, you will notice that you can look at it in a couple of ways. So here you have 3 cups. Look at this backwards camera is driving me nuts. Here you have 3 cups and they have spilled. And so think about this spillage as your loss, your sadness, your mourning, right? But you can also look at it a different way. These 2 cups that are still sitting upright, rainbow, all the chakras in the rainbow here, okay? So just by changing your perception, you can look at the 5 of Cups as, yes, there is some release, but these 2 cups here are filled with light, stability, love, healing, and new beginnings. So in the same token that you're releasing, you're being told by Spirit here that, don't worry, it's going to be filled with light. Mourn, release, let go of what you need to let go. That void that you're feeling is going to be filled with light. Okay? So, my next card that I drew is one of my favorite cards. She is the Queen of Wands, and she is so spectacular. Maybe it's the red hair. Maybe that's why I like it so much. But she's amazing. So your Queen of Wands brings the element of fire, the direction of south, and the season of summer. The Queen is courageous. She's confident. She's passionate. She knows who she is. She knows exactly what she wants, and she knows exactly how to get it. The Queen embodies the elements of water because she's feminine, remember? And water is emotion. She also embodies the energies of fire because she's the Queen of Wands, and fire is that spirit, that magic, right? She brings balance to the flow of feminine intuition with the fiery action of vision and manifestation and transformation. So manifesting that transformation. Fear is not a concept with the Queen of Wands. She believes in herself, wholeheartedly believes in herself. And this card tells us to look into the wisdom that already lives within our hearts. We know it. We know it. It's in there. Sometimes we have to do a check-in with ourselves and remember that it's in there. Sometimes when our flames start burning very low, we just need to give one little puff to get that fire going once again. So remember to look into the wisdom that lies in your hearts. There you will find your confidence, your passion, your drive, your fire, your light. She symbolizes manifesting spiritual potential. So all of these things winding in with the moon, they're all dancing around one another here. Our last card for today is the King of Swords. Very handsome fellow. And the King of Swords is your element of air, your direction of east, and your season of south. Excuse me. This king embodies both fire. Stop it. Sorry. Both fire because he's masculine. So he brings in that masculine fire spirit, right? and air, because he is swords, and air is your mind, it's your intellect, it's your connection with divine, your spiritual aspect. Brain fart. Sorry. Obviously, my mind is kind of all over the place right now. So anyway, so the king brings balancing life force with brilliant intellect, and he's bringing about reasoning and passion for truth and justice. He is a mediator, because swords also talk about communication, your throat chakra. So he is a mediator. He is a keeper of calm. He's also a boundary drawer. This card talks about bringing thought into action, right? So bringing that thought out into the first phases of manifestation, taking that action to do it. It's time right now to bring those dreams into reality. It's time to move in different directions with clarity and purpose now. Trust your inspirations, your divine downloads. Put the newly inspired ideas into action. Take action to do that. The king also invites us to open up our minds to different ways of thinking, different ways of perceiving. The moon right now, because the moon talks about, of course it's feminine, but it also talks about intuition. Moon also has to deal with deception and things like that, right? So you're going to have to kind of be reading in between the lines, and especially right now with all of the changing taking place. We've got the fall equinox. Yes, that's the balance, but we have all this emotional stuff coming in. You might start feeling as though, let me rephrase, I don't want you to read more into a problem than what there really is, because once you start doing that, you're already so into yourself, subconsciously, introspection, all of that stuff, because of the waning moon, that you could really, really put yourself down the rabbit hole even more. So allow the flow of water and the feminine feelings of compassion and the healing of earth and all four elements. I don't know if you noticed this, but we literally had all four elements feeding this reading today, which is you're such a shit, which is really awesome. And with that, obviously my animals are being crazies right now because they see them trying to record. They always do that. So before we go, I just want to sum it up super duper quick. Okay. So to sum it up, we're going to be heads down, going through some emotional and physical breakthroughs. Some of these might deal with trust issues or finding out some truths that are going to, I don't want to say break, but definitely shake you to the core. They're going to break up that foundation underneath you. And don't be afraid. Don't be nervous. Right now, we have, like I said, all four elements working with us. So allow yourself to flow through each one of them during this journey of emotional healing, physical healing, foundational healing, spiritual healing, all of those things. Trust. Put some trust into it. On this day of the equinox, allow yourself to shed the unneeded in your life. Just unneeded. Whatever is unneeded, shed it. Remember, when you rebuild with what feeds your entire being, with happiness and healing. You don't need to pick up those old pieces to rebuild. Just leave them the fuck on the ground. You don't need to pick them up. Rebuild with what feeds you, your mind, body, spirit, soul, surroundings, home, feed it with happiness and healing. And that is going to be it today. Thank you for joining me for that. Please know that if you visit my website, theoldtreeshop.com, I will be updating the classes and events page to give a little bit more information on the Path of the Moon, which will be starting October 13th. I hope you're ready for it, because I am. I will see you all later. Have an amazing day.